Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're gonna showcase 4 teams for Go Battle Day around Single Type Cup, so stay tuned till the end if you do not want to miss those teams that absolutely fit for your Go Battle Day, because not only you're gonna win big, but also you're gonna do it pretty fast because all those teams are gonna rely mostly on their fast attacks to be extremely useful. So for the first team showcase, of course, we're gonna start off with a Charmer, but trust me when I say this, no Charmer at all on the later videos, on the later battles, and we're gonna see Granbull up on the lead, especially on its shadow form. At the back, Vigoroth is gonna serve as our main safe switch, and of course we got Kofagrigus here. So I really like how both Vigoroth and Granbull can cover the weakness that Kofagrigus is having to Umbreon, and of course the backline can protect your Granbull from Mach, which is the core breaker of this team. And it is a core breaker because I haven't found any other notable core breaker for this line, because a Mach up on the lead can be kinda troublesome, able to resist even those counters, and has Dark Bolts for your Ghost type Pokemon. But other than that, I don't think you're gonna be in deep trouble, because you can always rotate with your backline and rely some shields for Kofagrigus at the end. If you happen to catch a fighter up on the lead, you're gonna see that in combination with your Kofagrigus, you're gonna be able to protect even your Vigoroth from that Machamp, Surface or Primeape that your opponent is gonna have. So this team is looking super strong, I recommend to you, and this is only the start of this video, because later on we have more teams and of course more stuff to showcase for you for your Go Battle Day Clay. Now we're gonna showcase perhaps my favorite team out of the total 4 for today, because perhaps I'm gonna use this team as well. The only thing that I could change most probably is gonna be something like a Shadow Granbull on the end instead of Dragonair, because I do not have a Shadow Dragonair, and trust me when I say this, you need triple Shadow for this team and for your Go Battle Day Clay in order to pressure even more with your fast attacks. What I like about this team composition is the Ember from Ninetales, which can just dominate against steel types, especially under shields, so that your backline can be on a much better spot overall. Against a fighter, this team has a lot of coverage. Against other threats, you are also gonna be on a very good spot, but the most notable core breaker of this team is gonna be, unfortunately, another Reggie than Registeel, the Regirock. So Dwayne the Regirock Johnson is gonna be one of those Pokemons that can threat with a Stone Edge. Your Ninetales has a lot of coverage against poisons, and of course can do a lot of work against your Dragonair on the end, but surely you can definitely go ahead and pressure with a Psyshock from your Ninetales, but I do not recommend it. Just go with the Overhit, do not trust my moveset that I have over here, and of course at the back a simple Dark Pulse or even some Aqua Tails might just do the trick against the Regirock. So this team is absolutely insane. I like the coverage that it has around another Charmer of your opponent, and of course both Mach and Ninetales can do that protection job pretty nicely, so that your Dragonair might just sweep the entire team of your opponent. For team showcase number 3, we're gonna use a team that is kinda bulkier than the previous ones, because this backline is pretty thick, with your Greedent able to come in as a safe switch, and a pretty spammy moveset of its own can absolutely be super handy, while your Confusion user on the face of Hypno, especially on Shadow, is just gonna apply so much pressure on the opponent. You can use any Elemental Punch, but be sure that you can keep your Shadow Ball. Some people tend to go with Focus Blast, but I do not recommend it, because you still have coverage with the other 2 Pokemon against an Umbreon, and of course you can rotate properly. You can easily draw out of the opponent's backline an Umbreon with your Greedent, so that you can be on a much better spot. Also, what I like about Greedent is that even against a fighter, it can definitely take a shield or 2 out of them with those back-to-back body slams, and you can get there fairly fast with your bullet seeds, while Crunch is gonna help you against ghost types, which are not gonna be everywhere, but of course Kofagrigus is gonna be your main opponent. As a closer, I have already said that we're gonna have Shadow Hypno, but Shadow Ball is mostly gonna be needed as a closing option, because of ghost types being such a big threat in the meta, and one of those core breakers that you're gonna see with this team is gonna be Kofagrigus. Hopefully though, if you have a Shadow Machamp, you can still go toe to toe even against Kofagrigus, especially with those Rock Slides dealing so much damage, and Shadow counters, even when double resisted, they're still gonna be kinda threatening even to a Kofagrigus. So with that said, now let's see what we have for the final one. If you're looking for a more fun team, if you're looking something out of the box, well, this team is pretty strong and also provides the correct amount of entertainment for your Go Battle League journey, and especially on a day like Go Battle Day, you might want that extra entertainment to keep you alive throughout those 100 battles. So we're gonna have Haxorus up on the lead with its Community Day moveset with Breaking Swipe, while Nuzlocke is gonna help you a lot against the Ghost type. So here is an option, a really nice generalist against the meta that is mainly afraid of Dragonair because of Drango Breath being so much of a pressuring move and super effective as well, while it is also afraid of those fairy types. And speaking of fairy types, here is where the backline can come in pretty clutch up against any fairy type at all, because you got Meganium, which is pretty thick for the meta. It has access to Earthquake, and of course with Flyers not being an option, I think that Meganium is the ultimate safe switch of this cup. Also with Earthquake you can definitely have a chance to finish off with a single hit not only the steel types but also something like a Mach, which is pretty neat. As a closer we have here Berserker and can absolutely destroy down whatever it comes up against to. Has coverage against the dragon types because of its steel typing, but of course it is gonna lose straight and square to those fighters. However, you still got the other two options for the fighters, so here is the synergy, and I think that this team can make you some really nice big wins for your Go Battle Day clay. With that said, trainers, we have reached to the end of this video. Just be sure to let me know down in the comments which one of those teams you liked the most and you enjoyed and you plan to use. And with that said, once again, just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new to my content. Feel free to share with your friends, and I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.